from me, you will feel better within yourself. And this is what I want an aggressive dog to learn, is an alternative to being aggressive. Keep away from me, you'll feel okay. Come towards me, inside, you're going to feel bad. And that's very nice. But there is no connection. There is no communication. Again, we have food, and the way he's lying down, it's a sort of a symbiosis. So it's strange, isn't it? Because you could say, oh my goodness, yes, that's really good. He's gone from being really aggressive and now he's lying down. Yeah, that just happens to be the mechanics of what he's doing. How he feels is what's important. He doesn't care about me. In fact, he'd probably like to have me in there, let alone the treats. I'm joking. He's an absolute darling. So again, I want you to watch his body language. The reason I'm lying down is to make myself as least offensive as possible. I do a workshop in Italy about how to help dogs in kennels that are kennel stressed, aggressive or not aggressive. And I can go through this sort of thing in more detail when I do another shelter webinar there. So he doesn't know what's happening. Like, why are you lying down? Why are you giving me a treat? He doesn't know. But bear in mind, I've never seen him before. I work with him in the morning and then I work with him again in the afternoon. He isn't rehomed. He's too dangerous, but he can now, with a couple of operators, he can now go out and go into the paddock. So this is more sociable, obviously, but he doesn't feel any different about me than he did when I first approached. And then, this is beautiful. This is completely different. This is connecting with him as a person. It's connecting with him from the heart. I'm not thinking about, as understandably, I've been asked questions. What did you do with your body? Why have you got your hands here? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I don't know why I'm doing anything. I'm doing what feels right in the moment. And at the moment, I'm not focusing on him. I'm not arrogantly thinking I can help him. I'm focusing on how I feel and I'm relaxing. I have been known to fall asleep, by the way, in these situations, but I didn't hear. So I'm focusing on relaxing myself, not on him. It's not that I'm ignoring him. That's completely different. I know he's there. I know what he's doing, but I'm focusing on my own emotion, and that will influence his emotion. So I've no food. This is in the afternoon. First of all, he's looking to see if I have food. So the initial reaction when he sees me is obviously not as aggressive because he thinks I may have food on me. So he's walked away to think about it. So what you're looking at with these dogs in kennels, the first thing you look at, hang on a minute, bless him. That was a magical moment. And yes, we did cry. It was so beautiful. It's in front of him though. What you look at with the dogs in kennels, it won't be their problem that kills them. It will be the kennel stress. It will be their mind. Their mind breaking is what will kill them. And even if they're not euthanized inside as a person, that is what kills them. So the most important thing with any kennel dog is not the problem causing them not to be rehomed. It's helping them feel better in the environment they're in. And that is the most important thing to do with any dog, particularly in the shelter. And why was he so kennel stressed? It is so sad because he was lonely. He had no one. People had tried to train him, and I really respect that, but it didn't form a friendship. He wanted a friendship. And it's sad, it's heartbreaking. So he's not homed. Like I say, he's too dangerous, but he now comes out of his box. He goes, not for a walk in public, of course, but he can now go out. But it's not, that's lovely, of course. But the thing that is so beautiful, he now has friends. He now doesn't feel isolated as a person. So now what I'm going to do, bear with me a moment, because what I'd like to do, let me stop the share a minute because I need to open something up. Sorry about this. I'd like to show you some videos on teaching dogs. I'm not going to have time to show you everything, of course, and I'm not going to have time to go through all of it in detail. I am going to choose some videos. Bear with me a moment. Right, where are we? Won't do that, won't do that, won't do that. Right, what I'll do is I'm going to pick some videos that I'd really like to show you. Oh, wrong one. Hang on. I'll get there in a minute. Right, I'm going to show you some videos that I'd really like you to see, and I think are really important for you to see to maybe understand more the teaching dog. And depending on how time goes, we can look at more. The important thing to understand about the teaching dog, like I say, we haven't got time to go into them in great detail. A teaching dog is a dog that is born with a desire to teach, not a dog that can teach, not a dog that's been in a situation and I don't know why people do this, teach them to do this, do that, do the other. It is a dog that is born with a desire to teach. You cannot train a teaching dog. I have seen so many horrible videos of dogs being in a position to handle a situation that they're not comfortable in, and because they're able to handle it, they've actually been labeled as a teaching dog. It's awful. If a teaching dog, you can have many dogs that can teach, but they won't necessarily want to teach. Communication classes don't even go there. Oh my goodness me. Anyway, so when I'm running a course on teaching dogs, the first thing you ask is, can this dog teach? No. Does this dog want to teach? And I would far rather run a workshop and actually say that every dog there is not a teaching dog than to say a dog is a teaching dog. And there are occasions where I have seen a potential teaching dog, phenomenal potential teaching dog, but because I can recognize that, this sounds awful, this really, but their owner I know will literally use them to do the work they want them to do, I'm a bit naughty because I say, nah, not a teaching dog. That's one of my little secrets there. You don't use a teaching dog. You work with a teaching dog. You are there to learn from the teaching dog. So different teaching dogs have got...
Can I interrupt for just a short moment?
Sure.
For administration stuff. Proszę Państwa, mamy 4 osoby, których nie możemy zweryfikować, które się zalogowały jako 48502, druga osoba jako administrator, trzecia Ala, czwarta Alicja. Jeśli w ciągu 5 minut Państwo nie zmienicie albo nie podacie w odpowiedzi na czata imienia i nazwiska, będziemy zmuszeni Państwa po prostu wyłączyć z webinaru. Przepraszamy bardzo za problem. Okay, Angela, you can continue. Sorry for this.
Przepraszam, jeszcze pani Michalina Zelek.
Pani Michalina Zelek mamy potwierdzoną.
Okay.
Okay, Angela, sorry to interrupt.
No problem at all.
Okay, continue, please.
Okay, like I say, we haven't got time to go to talk about teaching dogs in great depth. There are various roles of teaching dogs. Each teaching dog will have a preferred role. They will have different skills, it's more than just a dog that works with another dog. You have a mentor. Like I say, we haven't got time to go through it all at the moment. The mentor is one role teaching dog, but I'd like to show you this film that I'm about to show you. I'm so sorry for the quality, but it's about 15 years old. So the quality, I would prefer to be a lot better, but the content is too good not to share it with you. So this is Mida, my amazing Malamute, who's no longer with us, and this is Murphy, and they play completely different roles. And there's a German Shepherd that will arrive called Taz, who's a very naughty person who's already met Mida. So he was an aggressive dog, but he was never aggressive with her because she has such an aura, such an energy within her, and that's how these teaching dogs work. Body language, yes. Looking, yes. It's what they have within them. So he's fine with her-ish, sort of. Murphy's a clown. Murphy thinks it's hilarious. He has one role in this interaction, which is to trigger a reaction from Taz, to allow Mida to actually teach Taz polite approach. So he will say, come on, let's play, ha ha, I'm playing. Then he'll say, Mida. And then Mida will come over and say, it's fine to interact, Taz, but you do it in a sociable way. And she will talk to Murphy as well as talking to Taz. And she will say to Murphy, I need you to stop, I need to take over. And she will then say to him at other points in the video, she'll say, okay, now you can talk again. In this video, she's not very old actually, probably about 12, 14 months. I do want to stress, I never put my dogs in danger, ever. There's just no way I do it. Taz is muzzled for obvious reasons. It's another discussion. I will never have a dog with a muzzle on unless they are 100% comfortable with them and show the same excitement at seeing the muzzle as they do the harness. Do other dogs react differently to them? Some do. Teaching dogs don't. The communication is, from the visual point of view, is through the eyes. So here he comes. I won't just play through this one because that's why I'm talking. There's so much going on. Now I'll let you just watch it. He's so naughty. Remember, she's only about 14 months. She is a born teaching dog. I laugh every time I see him. He's so cheeky. Okay. I'll try and talk you through the conversation as it's happening. Sometimes it's so quick, which is why I always say to people, do not take your eyes off the dog. Mida will give just a glance that will say, and she doesn't even move her head, just a glance that might say to Murphy, stop. It might say, it's okay, you can go on. You've got the obvious saying, you can carry on, by her walking away, but it's a lot more subtle than that. And she will tell Taz to stop the way he's behaving, whichever. This whole session was probably about, I don't know, 20 minutes, I suppose. And they weren't always running around, obviously, they'd fall down. So what Taz learns, this is what I'd like you to notice, is that these guys between them have taught Taz how stop is said in dog language. And you'll see that she stops him using particular body language. And at the last bit of interaction, when Murphy says stop, although it's slightly different to her, he can still read it. And again, I go back to saying it's not just the body language. Malamutes and retrievers have got subtle differences in their body language. Well, Malamutes are very subtle in any way. It's how they feel. It's the emotion that they give. So Murphy's thinking, great, here we go. Yeah, my turn. Mina knows him. She's not happy about Murphy being there on his own. Murphy's clueless. He thinks no dog's aggressive. Glance at Murphy. And did you see, I'm going to take you back to that. Murphy goes to move at one point. Amida says no. Then she says, you can go. That's how subtle it is. She's immediately telling Taz, remember your manners. She's sniffing his genitals. She wants to know his emotion. That's another workshop, but she's picking up emotion from his scent. Walking away is, and the glance back at Murphy is, okay, I'm comfortable now. She doesn't like it because they're out of sight. And this lady is the person belonging to the retriever. In a moment, she'll tell Murphy to stop because there you go. The mere fact that she ran over it in the way she ran over said to Murphy, okay, stop a minute. I need to have a chat with Taz. So he stops. All the time she's saying, stop, I'm talking. Communication is so beautiful. And in a moment, she'll give Taz a look that I don't need to explain. I think that says it all. How you feeling, Murphy? I'm cool, I'm having fun. Mida said, okay, I'm happy. Carry on, guys. Over to you, Murphy. He's unmuzzled now. This is probably about 20 minutes later. And you notice that Murphy is leading the play more, and they're actually interacting now, even physically, more than just chasing. And watch how he says to Taz, stop. Don't follow me. So that is the way that a mentor, what mentor would work. It's the way that she worked. She was Mida. we know this now. But this is what's so lovely as well. Mida was working with a German Shepherd who was very worried. Well, yeah, she was worried, clueless on interaction and playing. She wasn't intentionally rude. If she had been, Mida would have been completely different. Mida is trying to help her relax. I'll let you play it through and then I'll talk through after. Hang on, sorry, where are we? Before I forget, I'll go through this one again. What I didn't do, which is what I said I was going to do. If you'd like me to just run through Mida in the previous video, please just let me know and I'll play that. Let that play through for you again in a moment. So this is how the conversation goes. Mida recognizes this little girl. The reason she's over the top is because she's a puppy and she doesn't know, and Mida's saying, please stop. She's trying to teach her. She'd like to teach her how you actually, when you first meet another dog, when you interact with them, and Tess genuinely doesn't know and she can't hear. So just using body language and trying to communicate, it's not working. So Mida wants to try and use possession. Initially, it's the whole just to try and communicate with her, because as you can see at the moment, Tess is certainly not communicating. So Mida's trying to calm her down in some ways so she can have a conversation. Well, that didn't work as well as she'd liked it to, rather. So then Mida uses the water bucket, but what's interesting, bearing in mind that she is one of the strongest dogs I've ever known and could work with that very naughty German Shepherd. Let me pause it a minute. To give her confidence, Mida is allowing her to take possession of the water. A little bit later on, Mida says, I'd like some. But she is allowing her to take control. And that's what I'm saying about when I was working with Scooby. What will she do to build up her confidence? What will she do to build up her confidence? She allows her to take control. At the point where Mida wants Tess to come away from the water, she does a little play jump. So this is a very, very strong dog. She's not rough with Tess. She's completely different. She's amazing, adaptable teacher. If Tess was a naughty girl, Mida would not allow her to have that water. Oh, bless her. I'm not saying that Mida didn't want to drink, by the way, but it's the way that she was using the water. It's hard work, isn't it, Mead? Right. Now, the way another dog will work is in a little bit of more of an expressive way. Right. This is Charlie. He's a monitor. Again, like I say, but we might have the opportunity to go through that another day, please. And he works in a completely different way. It might seem in some ways he's working similar to the way that Mida did in the first video, but it is very different. This is Hugo, who was staying with me. He's a funny little person. He's another pug, as you can see, and he has special needs. I work with a lot of dogs that have special needs. And again, you know, we won't have time to go through all of that as well. So Charlie he looks after him, in as much as he supports him emotionally. And I'll run it through. This is a young lab who's absolutely telling porcupines here because he's about as worried of Charlie as I am. It's simply the way he communicates on meeting. Oh, by the way, sorry, Hugo Pug has a problem with other dogs. Not aggressive. This is, he's sweet actually. The retriever is an adolescent male retriever, not aggressive, a little bit rude. You notice all the time that they're checking the scent of the dog. Funny people. Okay, hang on, I'm just going to shut a program down. So we're on a little bit. Chewy is completely harmless, a bit crazy. And the retriever, he's all right, bless his heart, but he's a bit rude, you know. He's an adolescent male retriever, is what they are, but he's actually a really nice person. One thing that I would like to say, I think this is a good point to say it, don't think teaching dogs aggression, teaching dogs working with aggression, forget that. Teaching dogs are teaching dogs, aggression is aggression. Yes, okay. Teaching dogs can help aggressive dogs, but don't think about aggression when you're looking at teaching dogs. Understand the teaching dog. Don't think of aggression. And the other thing which I meant to say earlier, for this evening, can you please put anything you've read, anything you've learned from people, put it on the back shelf just for now, and watch the dogs. They wrote the best book, and there will always be a dog that will break every rule in the book. So Hugo's not sure. Charlie knows Chewy. Chewy comes over. So Charlie's just saying, hello, Chewy. What are you doing? You going to behave yourself? Chewy says, oh, but Charlie, it's only me. Yes, Chewy, I know that. Just behave yourself. Don't be crazy. Little Hugo doesn't know so much yet. Poor Hugo, he's just copying what Charlie's doing. He's got no idea why. Hello, mate. Hugo didn't even know how to pick up scent from a dog. He was clueless. Adorable little man. So then Bolly, the retriever, comes over. Charlie's attitude as well, already completely different. Right, Bolly, I know what you're about. Just make sure you behave yourself. Keep out of this interaction. The boys are having a chat. Off go the pug and the lab. Charlie with that very tiny little look tells Bolly in no uncertain terms, keep out of the conversation, which Bolly quite wisely does. Now, this is interesting because Charlie can see that this interaction is getting a little bit past communication. Remember that the more movement, the less communication. If you wanted to learn, it's like if I wanted to learn Italian, then say one of my friends was teaching me Italian, we wouldn't be going for a run and her teaching me Italian on the run. When you're communicating, you would stand still. When you want to learn about a language, you would stand still. If you go to a classroom to learn about a language, you're not running around the classroom, you're sat still. And what's happened here is there's no animosity between these guys at all. But Charlie's basically saying, kids, hang on a minute, just chill out, have a natter. And because Hugo isn't helping the situation, Chewie will listen to Charlie, but Hugo, bless his heart, he's sort of like lost the plot a bit. So Charlie actually stops Hugo. And a little bit later on, as they come round, the people in a moment, poor Bolly, the retriever, he just happened to be there, and Charlie just wanted to make the point again. Don't get involved in the conversation, and you'll see Charlie will physically give him a little tiny body bump. So he can't. He's having a little bit of trouble here, Charlie. Bang. And poor Bolly, bless his heart. It's all right. He did survive. The other interesting thing is, look at him. Oh, bear with me a moment because I've got to turn my television on and off, so you might not hear me for a minute. Hang on. Okay, I should be back again now. He was aggressive with other dogs, all other dogs, male, female, big, small. He's a pug, he didn't care. And I find it a lot of the teaching dogs were initially aggressive. Various reasons for that. Again, if we have time later, I'll go through it with you. So I'm going to let you watch it through again without my talking. Look at his little face. Okay. So, where are we? Dun dun dun. I think I'm going to show you this one because, oh, hang on. I did this for a client, so I have music to it, which is beautiful, but you don't need to hear it. I'm going to turn it and see. I might have to have it on a little bit, but I've had in the past a problem because there are some that I need you to hear, but if I mute on one, then it mutes the others. This here is, hang on, this bless his heart, he was amazing. Right. Oh, I'm going to risk it. No, I won't. This is Maya. She's an ex-street dog from Romania. I took her in at about 18 months old. I was supposed to be rehoming her, but I'm a failed fosterer, so she's with me. This is Rolo. He was very aggressive with other dogs. The reason I have him muzzled is because he's a lot bigger than her. And yes, he's 100% better than he was, but I'm not taking the risk. You never know. I mean, he was bad. You'll see a Rottweiler, he's more or less all Rottweiler, a Rottweiler come up, who is Horus, an absolute darling. His favourite role was as a nanny, which I'll show you in a moment, the one that says, hi guys, you're okay, let's go. But he will happily supervise and work as a monitor in some situations. And what you'll see is because Maya and Horus had the most phenomenal relationship. They loved each other. But Maya's very cheeky. She's a fantastic teaching dog. And her role in this situation, like Murphy and with Mida, is her role is to trigger a reaction from Rolo. But Horus has asked her a couple of times, okay, I think he knows, I've learned the lesson. But because she's having so much fun, she ignores him. So Horus then has to stop her, remembering Charlie having to stop Hugo. So it's not a case of the teaching dog communicating and being on the side, so to speak, of, you know, the other teaching dog. They supervise the whole situation. Obviously, he still talks to Rolo. Cheeky woman. And I did what I said I wasn't going to do. I was going to let you watch it first and then talk. Sorry, I promised to do that with the next one. It's Norse. Okay, let's give it a go.
Angela, just to let you know that if we want to go according to agenda, we have around 7 minutes. Is it possible to fit in with what you want to present?
Yeah, that's sure, because I can stop after Norse.
Okay, so whatever.
So I've got 7 minutes before I finish.
Yeah, and then, well, that was the plan, and then we have a break, and then we.
Oh my goodness! See, I got carried away, didn't I? Right. Then what I'm going to do then, blah blah blah, is I'm going to show the video on the communication classes.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I got a bit carried away there, Kasia.
No problem.
It's very strange when you're doing it in this way, much as it's really lovely, because it feels like nobody here, which I know there is. Right, okay, I'm so sorry to keep talking and taking so long. Hold on. I need to share the screen again. Right. The video is only 3 minutes, so that's cool. That's cool. With the teaching dogs, obviously recognizing the teaching dogs with Basil, my first teaching dog. I then, over a period of time, it developed in seeing how the teaching dogs would actually work together with dogs, recognizing they had different roles and how they work together. And this video footage. The quality, I'm afraid, isn't very good because it's about 25 years old, possibly older. And just to say briefly, in this video, when you're running a communication class, I'll let you watch it as I'm talking because of time. You have to make sure you have a minimum ratio of 1 teaching dog to 2 students. And in this situation, the boxer, Cooper, the bloodhound who appears somewhere, and the German Shepherd are the 3 students, but I can't remember now, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 or 5 teaching dogs present. And I've chosen a particular mixture of teaching dogs and put together a particularly chosen students. You know, could you say to the owners, don't stand so still, don't stand next to each other. The lady with Cooper occasionally feeds him treats. I'm not going to put pressure on them. You know, they've got enough stress in their lives without me telling them off. Just let people be how people are, because that's real life. You have to get the right mixture and the right balance. You need to know your dogs, and you need to know what your teaching dog wants to do. Bless him. He's so funny. He was so naughty. Oh, bless him. Right. Hold on. I know I'm a bit tight for time here, but I'll try and talk through the conversations as best I can. He had a problem with other dogs. He was actually quite naughty. This is Hamish. He's a lurcher. He's absolutely hilarious, loves life, crazy as you like, and very, very similar to boxers. He was very strong. I'll point out at the point when he tells the bloodhound to stop, he was exactly the right dog to initially get Cooper to relax. Because boxers like to run and be crazy like lurchers do. Nadia and Tia, the two Samoyeds, always came together and they were hilarious. They were just happy, giggly little girls, always came out together and never took anything in life seriously. So again, they had a different emotional effect on the group. So they had something else to bring to help them. And you notice that Cooper checks in at the moment because he's a bit confused with the others. This is Jazz, who just likes to say, hey, I'm cool. And she was there really to add another character. But like I say, you have to be really careful and know the character dogs that you know that your students will benefit from. It depends what you want your students to learn in that moment. This is Bailey, bless him. He wasn't aggressive as such. He displayed aggression, but he wasn't aggressive. He could have been very. Obviously, you've already seen the learning that he's had from the teaching dogs and how these boys learn to calm down together or feel more relaxed with each other. These are two students, I'm not saying to do this, that both had issues, but I felt that they could learn from each other with their individual problems themselves with the aid of the teaching dogs, the other teaching dogs I had present. So let me run it on. Hold on. Right. In a moment, you'll see Eton, a black lab, that will come up and police this, or supervise it rather. What I want you to notice is his complete difference in body language and the way he talks to Cooper than the way he talks to Bailey. He says to Cooper, stop, behave. He says to Bailey, it's all right, mate, you're cool. Bearing in mind, we've all got all those lovely characters there. So these guys can choose who they want to go and talk to at any time. He will go and talk to the lurcher if he's feeling anxious. He, bless his heart, used to talk to the Samoyeds, Tia and Nadia. So neither one of them are confident with what they're doing. And they really want to interact with each other, but they don't know how. Look at him. So he does a German Shepherd thing. Bailey does a boxer thing, and in comes Uncle Eton. So watch the change in body language, and it's so quick. He tells Cooper, the boxer, come on, like just stop, go more gently. And he says, there we go. And he'll say to Bailey, you're right, mate, you're cool. I got it, I got this. See, it's completely different body language. And again, Cooper, stop. Thank you, Bailey, you're right, mate. So quick. And obviously, being a boxer doesn't always listen, so Eton had to tell him again. He was actually picking up the scent of Bailey to see if Bailey was okay, which he was, and that's when he walked away. Oh, hang on, what's going on here? Just take that back. What I will do, if we have time, is keep it in your mind. We've still got the two giggly girls. We've got the quite strong, well, he is strong, but the bouncy lurcher. We've got the stable German Shepherd. These guys at any point can go up to any of the other dogs if they've got any questions. Before we finish, I just want to show you the interaction with Eaton again. This is a communication class. This is learning about language, not having a load of dogs running around like crazy dogs with God knows how much prey drive. And you've got to be so careful when you mix and match, so careful. You have to consider above all else the dog's emotional needs, not just the students, but the teaching dogs. Respect them. Do you know, I've seen this video so many times because it's so old, but I watch it every time in awe of these guys. It teaches me that I've still got a lot to learn. So, have I overrun, Kasia?
Not at all.
Good.
But it was very nice.
Oh, good. Was that okay then? Is that all right? Do I stop and let you guys have a break? Well, and me have a break now?
Yes, we'll have a break now. And how much break? Because the plan was to have a 30 minutes break. Do you think that 25 minutes will be fine and we'll go on a bit longer?
Yeah.
And there is anything important, any video that you really wished to show to the audience and you feel fine after like in an hour, we are perfectly open to listen to you longer, but it will be up to Angela. Okay,
I have got two videos that I would like to show to finish with if we have time. Yeah.
Okay. So I suggest that we will start with the questions after the break, and then just at the end, if somebody needs to leave, they will leave, and those who have more power, we will continue watching your videos.
All right, lovely job. Okay. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you, and enjoy the break.
Thank you. Thanks.
Angela, sorry.
Yes.
Just one thing. When you will be showing the videos later on, can you now please turn this application off and then start it again? And one thing more, when you start sharing the screen on this dialog window, there are two small tick boxes on the